Hi, my name is Brenda Mason, and honestly, how do you tell 58 years worth of your life in 3 minutes? And that almost paralyzes me out, and I think, where do I begin? And those very questions took me back a little over 3 years ago to when I was going to become a single empty nester. My youngest daughter was getting ready to graduate high school, and she was going off to college, and my home was definitely going to be an empty nest with her gone. But as far as stuff goes, that empty nest was stuffed and packed. And I needed to get from Utah back to Virginia, where all my family was. And I didn't have a lot of time to do it. As a matter of fact, I had 31 days. So a friend of mine said, you realize that you're going to a tiny home, so you're going from 3,100 square feet to 310 square feet in 31 days. And that's exactly what I did. So fast forward about 2 years ago, actually, it's forward and back. Anyhow, about 2 years ago, I was at a tiny house expo and festival, and I was so excited to be surrounded by people who were interested in living smaller and living simpler. And I believe that's why people do go to model homes and go to, regardless of their size, is because there's that draw, that simpler life, maybe less mortgage, more freedom, that type of thing. So I was so excited, and I was surrounded by people, and we were waiting in lines, and everybody was talking and so excited about it. And then this almost dark cloud would come over. Oh, but I could never do it. I have so much stuff. What would I do with it all? Where would I go? And I was like, oh, I get that. I used to be there, and I would paralyze out. I'd pick something up. You know, that was a heartstring, and I'd paralyze over it. And so, but they're like, oh, you know, and my heart was screaming, and I thought, I've been there. I've done it. I get it. It's hard. It was so hard. And I prayed to God almost 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes. I prayed to him a lot more than 5 minutes, let me tell you. Anyhow, so I got it and I understood it, and I was talking about that with a client, and she said, isn't there a way that you can teach people to do it in 31 days just like you did it? And I thought about it, and I thought, absolutely. And so I did create the Downsizing31 course because I could do it. And the other thing that I found interesting in this time frame, because my heart is just to help the people. The average American household has 300,000 items in it. Mine certainly did. And how do you get out from underneath that, you know? And so I'm going to tell you this one thing today is you have 4 types of items in your home. You've got the things that you honestly need, the items that you really use and that you truly love, and everything else is empty clutter. And to that, I say rehome it. And if you go ahead and let your empty clutter go, then there's probably somebody else out there waiting to use it. So by all means, don't wait till one day. Let's do it now. Create your home oasis. Live that God-given, simpler life that's just waiting for you. Do not be hemmed in by all of your stuff. You are not what you own, and you are not your stuff. And that is a huge blessing.